In today's video, we're hosting an F1 race where every lap the F1 game gets worse. We're going from the best rated Codemasters F1 game on Metacritic to the worst. Why? Because I seemingly like to torture myself with bad F1 games. So starting this race off, of course, the highest rated Codemasters F1 game on Metacritic, F1 2020, of course. Savor it, lads, because it's quite literally only gonna go downhill from here as we go to 5 red lights, and we are underway. We're in the McLaren today, so it's gonna be very interesting to see the McLaren all the way through the years as we go from various F1 games. What? That was not in the game plan, but okay. Are you actually kidding me? I didn't even get to savor the best F1 game Codemasters ever made. Bloody hell. To be fair, if you go on my channel very recently, we revisited F1 2020 in a whole video on its own. So if you're really curious about reliving F1 2020, just go back to that one. Our next racing lap is on F1 2017. Yes, that's right. Somehow, this is the next best rated F1 game from Codemasters. How? This was actually technically rated higher than F1 2020 on PC, but I simply couldn't let that run. I couldn't let it take the top spot for lap 1. What were these critics on when they tested this game? I mean, look at it. Look, just based on graphics alone. How has it been rated that high as we go to 5 red lights for lap 2 of this race? Can we please make it past turn 1 this time? But I'm just scratching my head of how this game has ended up this high rated. I mean, I'm sorry, I need to check. Have I got the highest graphic settings on? Because this looks like arse. Oh my, everything is on ultra already. Wait, hang on. Ultra high to ultra plus. That's surely gonna make a huge difference, right? Yeah, no, it looks no better with that different. What? This is boggling my mind. I mean, this has been a much better lap for me race-wise as we go around the outside of the, well, to be fair, very lovely looking yellow Renault. And to be fair, maybe this game was rated so high because in terms of the actual era of Formula 1, this year of cars was unbelievably pretty. You know, that incredible looking Renault we just passed. The Ferrari, oh my days, the Ferrari was an absolute heater this year. So maybe that's why it was rated so high, like just based off the IRL F1. Because to be fair, you could probably say that for F1 2020 and 2021, why they were rated so highly as games, because the real life seasons were so great. But yeah, I mean, like looks-wise, lighting-wise, just no. Handling-wise, okay, sure. This is, you know, a lot better than most of the F1 games we're going to start coming to later on in this video. But I'm actually really baffled how this is rated so high. I mean, what is that sun glare? Jesus Christ. Can't even see the apex coming up. Can we send it on Fiat to maybe just get up to outside the top 10 as we round out this second lap? P11, I'll take it. All right, thankfully some sanity has been returned to the order of things as we're now on F1 2019. How on earth this has not been rated higher than F1 2017, I'll never know. But here we go, lap 3 then. And we're in a much better McLaren than we were before. I didn't even mention that. The McLaren we were in previously, as Verstappen has a massive problem there. And that is why this game is high rated among a number of things. AI mistakes, true AI mistakes, you know, realistic moments. And, I mean, overall, just really great looking, solid handling. Obviously, this game was the first game we ever got driver transfers in career mode. It was the first time we had F2 story mode, like a little F2 prologue for the career mode with what was it, Lucas Weber? I think that was the other character's name, in the introduction of Devin Butler. And we've had a stonking lap here as well, up to P6. Yeah, I didn't even mention last lap. That McLaren was pretty horrendous, wasn't it, in 2017? But yeah, I just don't get it. I just don't get how this game was not rated at least in second place. But there you go, as I'm gonna try to get the Red Bull. Oh dear. Albon actually puts up a good fight there. Really wasn't prepared to be as committed to get that move done. It's fine. We'll get it done here on the back straight, gaining. Oh, yeah, buffeting a little bit as we wobble and jockey for position, but he's not giving up the Red Bull. We really had to go for it under braking to get the job done, but we've managed to just break into the top 5 for lap 3 here. That is solid, and I was expecting nothing more from such a solid game for me. F1 2019 onwards to the next one. So far, these 3 games that have come after F1 2020, it's like that meme with the 3 dragons where 2 of them, yeah, it makes sense, and then you just got the other one, which is F1 2017. That just looks like the odd one out. Anyways, here we are, F1 2021. Savor it, drink it in, because, yeah, the F1 games are really going to start going downhill from this point onwards, I feel, as we get underway. It's not been the best of starts. The AI here, very, very good, if I remember, high speed, actually. And and mass understeer at high speed on the controller, but I'm going to try my best to still finish in a solid top position if we can. Of course, it's Hamilton and Verstappen at the top. P1 in 2 wouldn't be any other way in 2021. We make a move on Bottas, though. Ricciardo's actually done very, very well here. Can we try and join him for a double top 5 for McLaren on the outside? Come on, no. Right, I've saved a lot of battery for the last straight. Here we go, Bottas maybe pulling out for a move on Ricciardo. Can we go for the double dive up to P4? No, Ricciardo! No, way too audacious. We've absolutely fumbled it. Absolutely last place on F1 2021. Oh, dear heavens. Now we've got all the work to do. Coming back through the order on some of these higher rated games, fine. On the lower rated ones, oh dear. Next up is F1 2016. I'm glad this game is so far up on the Metacritic score, because I feel like in the community, this game was quite underrated. The year itself, IRL F1 was a banger. Obviously, Rosberg v Hamilton was mental in many, many regards, in many different races. But the actual game as well, this was Genesis, the baby for what they built on then for the career mode we know today, I guess. You know, my team doesn't happen if F1 2016 didn't happen with the the start of proper R&D you could see in UI screens, etc. So yeah, I'm quite glad it's this high up. I think it deserves to be. I think, you know, only big negative I think with this game was, for me, from memory, was the actual performance of it on a PC, at least what I played on. It just seemed like sometimes with some patches it would make the performance of it a lot worse with frame rate, let's say, etc, etc. But oh yeah, legal overtake, no. And it's very nice actually, for the first time in this video in the McLaren I get to drive as my favorite F1 driver, of course, Jenson Button. This car, maybe not the best McLaren out there, but I'm certainly getting used to the handling already. Very, very comfortable with it already, and we've made up a couple of positions, but to be honest, in this McLaren, I feel like getting any higher is going to be difficult. A little bit of understeer, come on, chasing Fiat. Let's get on power as early as we can. Come on, give chase. Come on, you useless Honda in the back of this car. I do not miss the McHonda days. Oh, God. No, understeer central. I do not miss these days as a JB fan. I really don't. Current McLaren fans, you don't know how good you've got it, okay? You weren't there through the pain of the Honda years. I'm being absolutely trapped. This isn't even like the AI acceleration. This is just the McLaren lack of acceleration. I said performance wasn't too good. To be fair, in this race, it's been pretty smooth, I would think, as we go down the inside. Can we just finish off this move to get up to P16? Yeah, nice lap. Great to return to this game. We talked about the Genesis. How's this for one? F1 2010 is the next one up, of course, through rose-tinted glasses. Probably rated a lot higher by many whose first F1 game this was, like it was for me. But I think this is a fair assessment of the game. I think a large part of this game being so highly rated now, in retrospective, when you look at it compared to other games, is really just the vibe of the game. Like, when we talk about aura now in the modern discourse of things, this game was like the game with the most aura ever. I can't even see... Where am I looking for the 5 red lights? I have no clue. I'm just going to guess. Okay, we did an okay job there. That was very much living the life of a driver at the back of the grid here on F1 2010. At least we've got one lovely thing going for us is the aesthetics of this car. The beautiful chrome and red Vodafone McLaren Mercedes. We started from the back, by the way, because this game is notoriously difficult to set the grid in terms of like a quick qualifying lap. So it's not going to make much of a difference because although, yes, this game is high rated and is in many of our hearts, it is a very difficult game to master, especially on a controller, which I'm doing this entire video on, as we're playing a very casual look through the years of Formula 1. And to be fair, even if I wanted to get my wheel to work on this game, I doubt it would. But you'll notice a very different layout of Silverstone, a very different look at... Okay, there we go. I was waiting for it. The curbs of death have arrived on F1 2010. Yes, very much looking back at this game with rose-tinted glasses. This did have a lot of problems with it, really, when you deep it, but still, the aura lives on. Right now, though, that aura is not doing much for me trying to do well in this race. No, I've locked up as well now. Oh, dear. It was a very grey-looking game as well, to be fair. Like, there were a lot of things where now, yeah, the modern games do things better. And just like that, we're done, and it's been a pretty horrendous lap performance-wise, but it's always good to return to this game just for the vibe factor.
That's not the best result for us. At least we got to the end of the race.
Yep, thank you for that positivity. It's F1 2011 time. We're now in one of my favorite ever Formula 1 cars. And yes, it is mostly because of the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix. But here we go to 5 red lights and we're on the way. And I'm actually quite quietly confident we can do some good work on this game, because although the handling is interesting to say the least, with the steering wheel animations being incredibly comical from lock to lock, it's something you can get used to very quickly. At least I can get used to very quickly, and the AI leave a lot to be desired, let's say, even at the hardest difficulty on this game. So we're going to feed our way through. We're already up many positions, and right now I look like an absolute driving god, this is, as we've gone from last place up to 12th in the span of one sector. Can we get the Toro Rosso? Oh no. One thing I did forget about this game is when you have a bit of a lock-up and you're going wide, it's very difficult to get the nose turned in. And right now our progress is being stalled. Let's Kers abuse the Kers a little bit. I've maybe abused it a bit too much there, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm used to it. This just seems like the Mercedes career mode we've been recently doing on F1 24. No battery. It's fine. Some of these corners, you just don't know what you're going to get from the turning. You don't know what you're going to get from the traction, but it's nice to be back on this game. It's always nice to drive this specific car. Very fond memories. I just love the shape of the car as well. The U-shaped side pods of this McLaren were ahead of its time. Oh, curb nearly got me there. We're gonna take home P11. I'll take it. On to the next lap. That's a solid bit of work. I didn't really deep it just then, but F1 2011 being rated that high is actually kind of mad, because there are some games still to come that I think are much better than 2011. When we're talking about games being rated too high, what on earth is F1 2018 doing being rated this highly compared to others? Look at it! The textures are awful. The performance is awful. Frame rates, I hardly knew you. I hope it's being picked up on the recording, but this is incredibly choppy. And yeah, the polish, the finishes on every surface, the car, the lighting, the track surface, the grass, it's all abysmal. I've said this before when we've revisited other F1 games, like in tandem, like in videos similar to this. I never remembered F1 2018 looking this chalked. but it looks like a bloody mobile game. It really does. How this is not in the bottom 3 rated F1 games, I'll never know. How this is rated above F1 23, I'll never know, because, by the way, that's the next game coming up, and I can't wait for this lap to be over so that we can go to that game at least. But yeah, F1 2011 may have finessed its way up the order. F1 2017 may have really finessed its way up the order, but F1 2018... incredible performance to somehow not be in the bottom 3. To be fair, in terms of my actual performance on this lap in this mega race of ours across F1 games, not too bad. We've held on to P11 here. Can I get Carlos Sainz in the Renault of all cars as we dive down the inside? As wasn't this the year where Alonso said, now we can fight, and fight we shall, as we try and break into the top 10 a bit more, as we just wrestle the car up to P9, but get us off this god-awful game. Thank you. My eyes need respite. We're back to some more recent familiar territory. F1 23. I still maintain I think this is an underrated game. I think this actually deserves to be higher than it is here in this video, but it is what it is. Obviously, people's memories tainted by how bad F1 22 was, which is why I think it got rated a lot lower than it should be. But anyway, we're going to have a nice lap on here, I hope, and then, well, from here on out, it really will be just a world of pain, because I know what the next game is, and God, can this lap just go on and on and on, so we never have to go to the next lap. Please. Gonna have to try and gain a couple of positions here if we can on the last sector, because I think the next lap I'm just gonna go backwards. All right, sticking with Alonso here. We've dropped Piastri a little bit. Let's commit through the high speed. Flat out. Oy. And here we go. Battery dump. The good thing about doing only one lap here is we can literally dump the entire battery and get the move done on Alonso. Then going to try and stick with Sainz if we can. A little bit of a track extension on the curb. Bit more ERS. Big dive on Sainz. Just nail the apex there. Clout the curb. And we're going to park it for P5. Please don't let me go to the next lap. F1 22. Let's get this over and done with as we go to lights out. And we're on the way. Oh, buddy! Yep, that about sums up the entire game, doesn't it? I'm not even mad. Thank God we don't have to spend more time on this game. F1 2012. Now, I know you can't rate this game too high, but the fact this is lower than F1 22, that's kind of mad. I think this game had more going for it than F1 22. And this has a special place in my heart. This was my first full F1 game that I started making content on as we go to 5 red lights. And we're on the way from the back of the grid. Got some work to do, but I'm a little bit skeptical how much work we were to do, because one of the negative points, I guess, of this game was the handling, which was certainly something to master, as it was all about being very delicate with the steering, get the momentum going. Although I will say, this was one of the few F1 games where I could actually save my tyres. It kind of might... nearly crashed into Massa there. It may sound quite comical now if you look at my modern F1 game videos, but I was actually quite the tyre whisperer back on F1 2012. And to be fair, actually, we're doing quite a good job here at actually just performing as well, as we try and get down the inside of Ricciardo in the Toro Rosso. It's kind of mad. 2012 Ricciardo in the Toro Rosso, and then so many years later, he's in the V-Carb, or not even anymore. Oh no, Massa's having me. Please, can we just hang on to P14? I'll be pretty happy with P14. I will say, this game, like with the next one coming up, very consistent is what you can say. There's no funny business, you know. There's no surprise hopping, curbs, the handling. Yeah, okay, it takes some getting used to, but once you're used to it, you get into the rhythm of it quite nicely, as we're going to try and make maybe one more position here. Come on. On the inside of Bruno Senna. Yeah. Oh. F1 2013. I don't know why this is so low, because I feel like in terms of a community perspective, a lot of us really like this game. Consistency, I said for F1 2012, this was the consistent game for league racing, career mode, multiplayer, everything. Yeah, it was incredibly arcade handling. More arcadey than F1 2012, really, so maybe that's why critics rated it lower. but at least it was bloody fun, you know? It was really fun wringing the neck out of this car. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Brilliant bit of damage there. Oh, God. And I remember Survive was very, very fun this game as we're trying to hobble our way through the crowd here. Okay, maybe I can see why this game wasn't rated as high. The handling is very, very iffy, but this game had so much going for it. It had the classic cars as well for the first time. I mean, we heaped praise onto this game recently when we're looking at all the discontinued F1 circuits that this game also has and features. I guess the career mode was very, very linear, but, you know, you got to think, when critics were rating this game, you know, in 2013, they didn't know any better. Like, you know, there wasn't anything better coming. So in terms of relative to other games that had come and were to come as well later in later years, yeah, I think this game very much was underrated then and sits very low in this list of F1 games as I'm really struggling now because of this damage. Oh, no, no, no. We just stay ahead of Gutierrez there. The fact I've stayed in P10 here with a broken front wing is unbelievable. Especially in this McLaren. This one was not a good McLaren. Bucking Bronco over McLaren this was in 2013. But we're very much now into the chalked and cooked segment of this race, because now we're getting to some truly awful F1 games. Hello, darkness, my old friend, F1 24, as we go to 5 red lights. And we're underway. F1 24 really down the order compared to its other modern neighbours of Formula 1 games, as we're going to try and at least use the fact that I'm familiar with the handling and the game to try and do well, although the fact I'm on controller is not helping me. What is going on? Okay, the AI are just... what? Just please! Right, well, we were up some positions. Now we're down to P10 again. Thank God I don't actually play with controller for my actual normal videos, because, the control experience on F1 24 is very peaky, let's say, with the extremities of the grip, and then no grip, and then grip. Although, to be fair, I'm now getting the hang of it. Can we try and, wring the neck out of this thing? Use the pointy front end to good use. Oh, come on. No, I've got no battery. Of course I don't. Live story of F1 24. Lack of battery versus AI. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Get the Alpine. Yes. Oh, there's a pit stop. Can we? Oh, no. We're blocked. We're blocked. Can I do something? Can I go through? I will maintain P9, just around the same position. Now, I know we're not exactly where we finished in that last lap, but we're now on F1 2009 on the Wii, so to be honest, it won't make a difference because I don't think this lap is going to go very well. But let's see, as we're off, it's the third last lap of the video, and every single time, it's just slidey McGee. It's just like skiing around the circuit. And if I remember correctly, third gear is actually very underrated. You basically just want to slide your way around every corner in third gear. And then there is KERS. I don't know what button it is. Is it this one? No. Oh, yeah, it is. There we go. KERS in F1 2009. Brake. Easy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the rear end stability is it's something to be desired. As there's a big lockup. Oh, can we make some positions up? Please go where I want it to go. And also, this is the only layout of Silverstone that's going to be vastly different to the other ones. I don't even know where we are on circuit Silverstone, to be honest. It's very hard to tell with the graphics being, this chalked, but it is on the Wii, so let's forgive it. As here we go. Yeah, okay, that was obviously the old section of Silverstone, and now we come into Le Field. Slow down. The McLaren wasn't too great in 2009, so my teammate's only up the road. But can we maybe make one more overtake here? And to be fair, I've actually done pretty all right. P9 on the freaking Wii. F1 2009, I'll take it. F1 2015, the second worst rated Formula 1 game by Codemasters. Lights out, and away we go. We're not exactly where we actually ended the last lap, forgive me, but to be fair, it won't make a difference. F1 2015, well, if last lap was all about sliding, this is just a lack of traction. and really annoying AI. Maldonado took me out there. Of course he did. Of course Maldonado did. It won't make a difference. We're in one of the worst McLaren Hondas of the entire Honda era of this era of McLaren. The only thing this game had going for it was the good looks. It actually holds up. In 2024, I, for one, still think this game looks pretty damn modern and great, and certainly a lot better than games like F1 2018 that were to come after it. Like, whatever they cooked up in this version of the Yugo engine for looks, I actually think they could try and, you know, go back to it, and it would actually be a nice little change and freshen up with what we've currently got. But everything else, well, abysmal. And obviously no career mode, which was crazy at the time. Can I even get past Will Stevens in the freaking, oh god. Yeah, no career mode, no hopes. The only thing that actually was good for was spawning my driver, of course. Through hardship, creativity comes through. Please don't take me out. This has been, oh wow. Really, AI acceleration seems to be OP even back on F1 2015, it seems. We outbrake him. At least this time. Most of the time when I play F1 2015, I can't get my control to work. At least I've got my control to work this time. And to be fair, look at where my teammate is, as he's barely overtaking Ericsson. So we're pretty much matching where the McLaren should be. And now we come on to the last lap, the worst rated Codemasters F1 game.
Welcome to Formula 1 2014.
Oh, that nose. It's actually incredibly fitting that on the worst rated F1 game, we are in what is definitely the ugliest McLaren of the entire video. How have we gone from the start, pretty looking papaya, some banging Vodafone McLaren liveries, to this pile of garbage as we get underway for the last lap? Oh, everything's just awful. This game, just nothing about it. A reskinned F1 2013 with awful handling. Just a fake ERS simulation, which basically meant they didn't have ERS simulation. AI who just didn't know what they were doing. There was a good reason why Survive was so great on F1 2014, because the AI were just amazingly dumb into every tight corner with the realistic damage mod. And as you can clearly see, they're really not great at racing each other, because they're just slowing each other up into every corner. We've made up 10 positions, and it's not even been half the lap as we send it on Ricciardo, catching up to the two Germans of Rosberg and Vettel. To be fair, we needed a lap like this. We needed an AI like this to make up for some of the lower positions we got in the previous laps, because obviously this has been, you know, even though we've been jumping from game to game and doing 5 red lights to 5 red lights, we've tried to make this an entire race as a whole, and trying to see if I can actually end up in a good position. To be fair, I would happily take P4, but could we maybe manage a podium to end things off? No, because this McLaren is awful. Understeering like a boat, and we don't even have anything to work with. This is the entire heads-up display. Rich mix. That's all we can change. Maybe some brake bias in there. Oh yeah, from brake bias. That's going to do a lot for us. And the sound. Don't get me started with the sound. Beautiful. It sounds like a machine gun as we come through the final lap. We've gone from the best to the worst Formula 1 game. And I really don't know why we did it, because it's just been pain till this one. Guys, if you have enjoyed this, though, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And if you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.